Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee and to a get ready with me using my Pan Those Eyeshadows. I try to do 1 to 2 of these a month in conjunction with my Pan Those Eyeshadows series, which I will link, somewhere. Today I think I'm going to go for a pretty peachy, warm cut crease, and I think that's all the introduction I have. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. And I'm going to be using some glitter glue, I think, on my lid. So I'm going to focus this more in the crease, though if I get a little on my lid, so be it. I think, fingers crossed, this will probably be the last month of all the peaches. I do think that I should either hit pan or at least hit my 30 uses on at least one. So we can finally roll out a peach, I hope. Or maybe I'll just eat my words, check back on January 20th-ish. For the end of the thrilling saga. Okay, now I'm going to use some glitter glue. All I did was just set down that primer with some cream eyeshadow. I'm going to use my NYX Glitter Glue and put that all over the lid. I'm going to go quite shimmery on the lid, and I feel like this does almost create a foil effect with some shimmers. And this shade actually does have quite a bit of glitter in it, so I really like the way they work together. Okay, and speaking of that shade, we go into my NYX Ultimate Utopia and this peach, which almost looks like it has pan in it in the viewfinder. It doesn't, unfortunately for me. So I think I'm just going to take that on my finger and pat that all over the lid. It is an interesting color. It's peach, but it has almost like a little bit of a golden reflect to it. I've really been enjoying using it. It's kind of a pretty soft color without being too neutral or too colorful to wear on a lot of different occasions. I feel like it really does strike a nice balance. Okay. I don't know why I closed that. We are using this for most of the look. Next, I think that I'm going to take a pencil brush, which I can see just a little bit of blue on, so I'm going to clean that off on my hand. And I'm going to use it in this sort of terracotta brown shade, which is also from my Pan Those Eyeshadows. And I'm going to just trace along my crease. That's not showing up as cut as I want it to, so I'm going to switch to a eyeliner brush. And again, clean off any other color that is remaining. Here we have it. I'm going to go into this shade. And just keeping my eyes open and as neutral of an expression as possible, I'm going to draw the line on where I want my crease to be. Because I have quite hooded eyes, not extremely hooded, but enough hooded, I find that I can't actually go into the deepest part of the crease and have it show up. Okay. This isn't going to be quite as bold and as graphic as a lot of cut creases are, but that's okay. That's not really what I'm going for. I mean, I'm wearing like an old lady cardigan today, so. So now my plan is to go into that same shade on this pretty much smaller brush. This is a pretty dense little, what is this called? The e.l.f. contour brush. And I'm going to just blend up a little bit from that area. I have another matte peach that's a little bit lighter that I'm going to use in just a second, but I want to lay down a little bit more color. Okay. So now we are going to use that lighter peach to take this big fluffy crease brush and get some of that peach on it. And just blend over that area. Because I don't want the top to be harsh. The delineation between lid and crease I want to be obvious, but where the crease ends and the rest of my face begins, not so much. And I am blending that pretty much all the way up to the brow bone, though I am going to highlight the brow bone, which will take some of that off, or at least make it a little less obvious. Oh, don't want any more product, just want to keep on blending. Okay. Now for the highlighting the brow bone portion, I am going to dip into a little bit of that peach again, but also some of that cream that we started out with. Just go right under the brow bone. I might need to adjust a little bit more as we go along. We'll see. I got that a little lower than I wanted to. All right. Just doing some more blending work over here. I don't know if it's coming off on camera, but I can see sort of almost a line of delineation from the corner of my eye up to the corner of my brow. And it's not really the look I'm going for right now. Okay. That's all right for now. We can always adjust further later. And let's see. Now I want to use actually another shade from my Pan Those Eyeshadows. This berry shade. I'm going to take that on this quite small little crease brush. This is the e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush, so a tiny little crease brush as previously mentioned. I'm just going to get a tiny bit of that. I'm going to use that right in this outer corner. I don't want a lot of color, I just want a little bit more interest. I feel like this is reading a little too neutral for me right now. Like, I don't have to go anywhere today. Why am I keeping things so neutral? And then more blending, because that's just what we do. Cleaning that off a little bit more on my hand, just to make sure I'm not adding any more product. Just going over the edges. Okay, So I'm liking where all of that is at. I am going to line under my eyes with that terracotta brown shade on this little smudger brush. Back into that berry, which I'm not actually showing, I don't think. I'm just going to connect those two areas. Make a V that sort of connects the area where I had that berry earlier with my smudged liner. I do want a little bit of a better brow bone highlight. I don't think that really hit the mark. So I'm going to use a shade from that same palette. This is the Wet n Wild 32 color palette. And this shimmery white. It's sort of a cool toned white, if that makes any sense. It has almost like a little bit of a blue in its body, and then there's some golden shimmer in it. It's kind of an interesting effect. Yeah, that's not too bad. Just lighten that up a little bit because I took the blending so high. Okay. I'm digging this. I actually really like this. So now for some mascara, which I will probably just speed through. And we're back. We move to some cream blush. I'm going to use this Milk Makeup lip and cheek tint. It's a peachy pink. I'm just going to dot on a little bit. Do I have a good blender brush over here? No. Guess I'll just go with my fingers. Try to choose a finger that doesn't have too much on it. I actually really like where the amount of color is on my cheeks. However, I do think that I'm going to add just a little bit of this gold and white highlighter mixture. Again, from Wet n Wild. I'm just going to trace right along my cheek. This is the area where my cream blush at least starts feeling a little bit more greasy through the course of the day. So I want to make sure that I have at least a little bit of powder on there. And now for the lips. I think I'm going to start with that same Milk Makeup lip and cheek tint. And I feel like you could actually be good there, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of this Bite Beauty Power Mood lip crayon in Sazerac. It's a peachy nude. I'm just gonna layer those. I feel like the color on Sazerac is not perfect for me by itself, but it does have a little bit more impact and a little bit more shine than the Milk Makeup stick does. So I think they look really good together. And all right, is that it? Let's see. Make sure everything is blended. I also had mascara on earlier and it looks like a little bit flaked under my eye. All right. How often do I really get through doing my makeup without having to do any cleanup work? I think this actually turned out pretty well. I don't think it's as cut of a cut crease as I was actually intending. I really have been trying to work on that. I know that I have at least 1 or 2 videos where I talk at length about it, and I've got to say I had a really successful cut crease experience yesterday. I didn't film it, but here's how it turned out. I'm gonna put up a picture. And I thought it was really cute. I'm definitely going to have to redo that. And because it was also with my Pan Those Eyeshadows, I'm considering that a double win. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed and that you'll consider liking and subscribing if you did. Me and my purple stained eyeshadow hand are really looking forward to next time. See ya!